So since about 1999, when I first met Brian MacPhee, he was filming some incredible stuff over the Stirling area. The Stirling area, which takes in the whole of the Ochil Hills and Cambus Barron, and he was filming from his back door basically in Raploch, near Raploch anyway. You just get out his back door filming all this stuff, which just seems to be UFOs hanging under the clouds or metallic looking ships floating about all over the place as if they were kind of blown by the wind. In those days there were no UAVs. There weren't actually aircraft going into Edinburgh Airport either. They weren't any of that sort of thing. They were quite clearly, they were spherical or squashed oval shape to them, and they were definitely small UFOs. I remember him being visited by various characters from the military or the ex-military, and they were very interested in what he was doing. And I think Brian, to this day, UFOsBri, UFOSBRI, a big channel on YouTube, that I think some of Brian's biggest stuff has been the black helicopter hovering above his accommodation there. And he goes out his back door and he pans his camera, he films the helicopter, but then he pans left across the valley and he can see why the helicopter's there in the first place. There's some like smallish kind of transit van size kind of discotheque lighting up the field as if something had just kind of landed. Or I think to myself, well, is this a recovery team from the local black ops, or what is this? Is this some alien hologram, or is there something weird going on there? And so he kept filming footage of this. And as he films the first 2 minutes of that footage, when he pans past the helicopter to the clouds, you could see 2 or 3 of these UFOs hovering in the background in the clouds. A lot of people don't pick up on that because they just, obviously the footage is quite stunning in itself to see this black helicopter, allegedly special ops, or, you know, kind of guarding this downed UAV or small alien vehicle that had landed in the field or crashed in the field. So it might well have been a crash recovery, but it wasn't particularly human crash recovery that was going on there. So Brian's been filming things, and from his window also, I think one of his most incredible bits of footage is this huge big black triangle hovering there, just low above the hills, and just hovering there for a long time. You get some amazing footage of that, which, to be honest, it ought to have been picked up by some TV company and enhanced, and it would just look like something out of Star Wars, I'm pretty sure. In fact, there's a space shuttle footage, from the space shuttle looking down onto Earth, looking on top of a black triangle as it's going into orbit. It's about that sort of size, actually. It's that size of black triangle. Huge big thing. Whose military is that, then? Was it Lockheed, Skunk Works? Was it Black Ops? Was it Mission to Mars? Or was it the Space Cadets, or Stormtroopers, or Space Troopers? Who knows? But it just was above the Stirlingshire area there. I find it all very intriguing, actually, when you look at the actual amount of footage he's got blowing about over that area. It's not to say that it's very near the Falkirk Triangle. It's not to say that this stuff doesn't happen on a frequent and regular basis elsewhere in Scotland, particularly the central Scotland, from as far south as Gorebridge and the Scottish borders. You get people in the borders towns, I think in Galashiels, complaining about aliens giving them a hard time jumping in and out of stargates through in the woods and stuff like that. And fair enough, that's going to be going on. There's a huge tradition in Scotland of similar things. For instance, Willie Laidlaw, that's Ettrick Shepherd's grandfather. Willie Laidlaw has a history of interacting with these fairy beings, or they kind of look human, and they're doing odd, very strange stuff, interdimensional realities in these Scottish hills, in the Scottish borders. So from the Scottish borders, where Thomas the Rhymer famously went missing, abducted by the fairy queen, Eric Doon, he gets abducted, and he comes back, he's very prophetic. And he prophesies things about Bannockburn. He prophesied about the Battle of Bannockburn, and he said that the burn o' breed shall be dunged with deed men. The burn of breed. Breed is bread. Burn of bread. And Bannockburn is burn of bread or bread burner. That's Bannockburn. So he prophesied things like that, the Battle of Bannockburn, for sure. So in that area, which, to be honest, alien eyes have been looking at for many millennia, you've got numerous things going on. Now, Cambus Barron is particularly important because I think that Brian MacPhee has been filming stuff over there. But just recently, on the 8th of January 2018, a microlight aircraft crash in the woods at Cambus Barron was deemed by the police after extensive investigation to be a false alarm. 2 people travelling on the M80 reported seeing the aircraft descend into woods south of Cambus Barron at 4 p.m. on Sunday. That's, that first week in January, first Sunday in January, I suspect. A major search was launched to find the microlight, but officers confirmed the operation had been stood down. Inspector Anton Stephenson said, "I would like to thank our colleagues from Killin, Oakles and Lomond Mountain Rescue Teams, the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service and the Scottish Ambulance Service, who have helped with the comprehensive search. We have carried out a number of inquiries and are satisfied that the report was made with good intent." The thing is that there's lots of things coming down that kind of look like they're microlight aircraft. You could reasonably assume, perhaps, that microlight aircraft are crashing everywhere or are coming down. You might kind of want to think that. But in actual fact, some of these things that are coming down are not necessarily crashing. They're maybe landing in that area, some alien agenda happening in that area of Stirling and, again, central Scotland. But the Falkirk Triangle around there as well, Battle of Bannockburn, the fields of Cambus Barron quite visible from it. There are some important historic footnotes to this area as well. This is the place where King Arthur was supposed to have had his very last battle and was slain by Mordred near Camelon and Falkirk. And there are supposed to be some strange beehive-type monument built over his grave at Camelon. In that area, you'll also see this sculpture to celebrate dark Kelpie-like monuments, the horses' heads. They're meant to be Shire horses pulling innocents down a canal on a barge, but a monument to the Kelpies in such style that lights up at night, glowing green and stuff like that, is really a celebration of dark powers. That whole area does seem to be celebrating dark powers in its own way too.